vote for me, Donald Trump, and not get Hillary Clinton elected, and that's what we can do about it. That was pretty easily understood by me. I'm a Second Amendment person, so I guess he's talking about me when he says Second Amendment people. I didn't take anything from that had anything to do with assassination or trying to commit some kind of violent act. And too, Wolf, you know this, when you talk politics, you use metaphors and analogies all the time. And especially me, I mean, I did 3 tours overseas, I use military analogies and metaphors all the time. If somebody wanted to take those metaphors or analogies or take what I say and make them literal, or try to find something that said, hey, Duncan Hunter's trying to promote acts of violence against people, they would have taken it totally out of context of what I meant. But I mean, this is how politics is, though. But I think that the media has really jumped on this and is creating something over nothing, which is what the media does.
It's not just the media, it's politicians, critics of Donald Trump. Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, he tweeted this in response to what Trump said. He said, "Don't treat this as a political misstep. It's an assassination threat, seriously upping the possibility of a national tragedy and crisis." And General Michael Hayden, the former head of the CIA and the National Security Agency, he said this. This is what he told our Jake Tapper.
Time, that was more than a speed bump, all right? That's actually a very arresting comment. If someone else had said that outside the hall, he'd be in the back of a police wagon now with the Secret Service questioning him.
All right, so those are serious statements you just heard, Congressman. Go ahead and react.
Well, number one, freedom of speech is one thing, right? So I think General Hayden, I respect him greatly. I think he's wrong on this one. I don't think you haul somebody away for saying that we're going to get out the vote and stop Hillary Clinton from becoming president. I mean, it's that simple to me, Wolf. I think General Hayden's wrong, and I understand what the senator was saying too. But this is politics. This is presidential politics. People are going to make as much of a deal as they can about something like this. I don't even think that it was Trump misspeaking. I think Trump said what he meant, and what he meant was we can stop Hillary Clinton from being elected. We can stop Hillary Clinton from being the next president who chooses who's going to sit on the Supreme Court over the next 4 years.
You know, Congressman, the Secret Service takes very seriously threats of assassination to a president or presidential nominees.
Sure.
In this particular case, if you read carefully...
Well, there was no violence mentioned.
Let me just point out what the critics are saying, and then I'll give you a chance to respond. He was saying if she gets to pick her judges, that means if she gets to pick judges, she's already the president of the United States. She could pick a Supreme Court justice. There's nothing you can do, folks, although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is. I don't know. I don't know. That's the way he said it. So he wasn't talking about necessarily people going out and voting right now. He was saying, what happens if she's president of the United States? There's nothing anyone can do about the judges she's going to pick unless the Second Amendment people, maybe there is. You understand why they're suggesting he was entering into this awful world of potential violence?
Sure. Well, so I would disagree with you on this point. You're treating Mr. Trump's words like he is the most articulate person who's ever graced our ears with his words. And that is not true. He is not a politician. He is not a person like you who's very articulate, very well spoken. He's a business person who's running for president. So I don't think that the way that he said that and the sequence of his statements, I'm not going to judge him on that because I don't think that's what he meant. And I think that he can be inarticulate at times. What I think he just meant by that and by what he said is we can stop her from becoming president. We can stop Hillary Clinton from being the person who picks the next Supreme Court judges. So let's say that he was an English professor with a PhD in grammar, then I think that we could go through it this way and dissect what he said literally based off the sequence that he said it. But I'm not doing that with Mr. Trump because you can't do that with Mr. Trump, right? I mean, sometimes he says things and the way it comes out is not what he means. This is not an assassination talk. It's not a talk about violence. It's a talk about beating Hillary Clinton.
But you know, he wants to be president of the United States, and as you know, and you're a politician, words do matter. You have to be precise in what you're saying.
No, absolutely, but that is what makes Trump much different than even me. I mean, I'm not the most articulate guy in the world, but Trump hasn't ever run for office anywhere. I mean, he is a business person, and he misspeaks a lot because he doesn't speak for a living, like you and I do to some extent. So I can see where this happens, and I think it's going to happen more too, Wolf. I think this is not going to be the last time that this happens. It's certainly not the first.